Yay, there we go.
Hello.
Sweet. What's up, Dave? Good to
I
see
don't
you.
I don't know if it's updating my app that fixed it or requesting to join, but we figured it out.
We figured it out. I think this is the first time we're both doing this, so it's all good. We're rolling with the punches.
Yes. I went into Twitch live streaming, not Instagram live streaming.
Right, I know. This is new territory for both of us.
Uh-huh.
That was a quick update, though. I'm actually shocked. That was so fast.
I live in the Bay Area. We got some data up here.
Okay, well, dang. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, how are
Yes.
you?
I'm good. Just enjoying a sunny California afternoon.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. I'm over here in the Inland Empire, so it's like extra hot and we're kind of
Right.
frying, but
Uh-huh. It's a reasonable temperature here, like 75 degrees, so
yeah,
a beautiful
that's
California day.
that's ideal. That's all you could ever hope for.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But yeah,
seriously.
so I saw you were just in New York. How is your show out there?
That show was amazing. Like some shows just it's like location and crowd and timing and like it was an open to close. So
Open a
it was
close.
like people came for the journey and just some gigs are better than others, and this one was one of those. And I was playing classics because like to I got known playing classics, during COVID. And so that became a thing for Gabriel and Dresden because we're kind of, in that world of making records that are classics.
Right.
So, um, so yeah, it worked out. It was great, and New York was amazing.
Yeah, it looked beautiful. I mean, that location is like gorgeous. I didn't actually know it was open to close, but that's makes it even more special because you're able to take everyone like on a journey and like on a pier overlooking New
Uh-huh.
York, and like the crowd looked like they were having so much fun and you look like you're having so much fun. And yeah,
Yes.
I noticed it was like an ode to the classics. I mean, obviously, you guys have a number of classics that under your belt that people know and love so much. But um, I mean, and that's one thing I love so much about like the Gabriel and Dresden sound too is like you don't shy away from also throwing in like house and techno, even though you guys have really been known for mostly your trance hits that have
Uh-huh.
really
You
defined and
know, you
shaped
know
EDM.
what's funny about us is that we started out kind of going down a Sasha and Digweed route.
Yeah,
And we were really trying to make records for them, like 10-minute long journeys that take you to various places. And and then we wrote this song with a singer called As the Rush Comes. And
legendary
and
record.
we made it. Actually, the original version of that sounded very Gabriel and Dresden, but we were like, and I was totally sold on it, but Josh was like, no, we need to push further. We need to be pushed further. He had went and saw Tiesto DJ, and he thought that Tiesto really wrote a really cool line between techno and trance. So he's like, I'm going to try my hand at something I heard in Tiesto's set. And he started working on the version of As the Rush Comes that became the famous one. And so when we were done with it, and we were like, this is clearly not progressive house anymore. That's why we called that Motorcycle instead of Gabriel and Dresden, because we were like really trying to keep Gabriel and Dresden pure.
Right.
But, like because we called it the Gabriel and Dresden remix of Motorcycle, it's like, once
Yeah,
trance, always trance.
right, right.
So it's just like being typecast in a movie that was iconic,
Yeah.
you know.
Totally. Yeah, no, that record is so iconic and honestly has like shaped EDM and what we know of EDM is like today. And
I mean, it's a
um,
trip. I still remember the session like it was like yesterday, and it was actually like at a time when I didn't know when I thought something was great was actually really great. And so I just remember being really excited the day we wrote that song.
yeah, I mean,
And
you could feel it.
it felt like we were stealing candy from a baby. I don't know. It just was, I don't know. Like,
It feels like
every
you pulled something out of the ether that just
I just yeah, and it was like it was we weren't even supposed to go to the studio that day. That was just like a bonus.
what?
Yeah, we
That's
had
awesome.
recorded a bunch of other songs, and we were just feeling kind of like, we had a good chemistry going. Let's try to belt out one more.
Yeah.
And so that song almost never happened, really.
What? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so awesome
if
to
we
hear.
opted for brunch instead, because it was a Sunday morning, As the Rush Comes would have never been written.
What? That's
Yeah,
insane to think about. That's
yeah,
really cool to hear that. And yeah, I was curious about like how Motorcycle came about, but I mean, ultimately, because when that record was released in 2003,
yeah.
and
I'll tell you
yeah,
the story.
yes, tell it.
Josh was like, we were gonna go on our nightly walk because we used to live in Twin Peaks in San Francisco, and it was a gorgeous walk. And so we were out on our nightly walk. He's like, I got an idea, man. And he's like, it's crazy, but let me tell you. And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I've been thinking about As the Rush Comes, and like, Sasha and Digweed are gonna think that's the cheesiest thing ever. And he's like, I looked it up. There's no band called Motorcycle. I'm like, really? There's no band called Motorcycle? How the fuck is that possible? He's like, I looked it up. There's no band called Motorcycle. And he's like, like think about Jess. She's kind of like a blues rocker chick, like, she'd be riding motorcycles. And I'm like, I like your idea, right?
Yeah,
And like again, like I said, we were trying to be more house and techno.
right.
And in hindsight, it's funny because it was probably like one of the worst business decisions ever, really. Because if that song was a Gabriel and Dresden hit,
Yeah, but it
it would
looks
have
like
been
it
a
was like the credits were repurposed to make sure
yeah.
that
We
it's credits you
we're in the
guys.
we're in the byline, like in the
Yeah,
as the remixer.
right. But
So
I
a lot
think
of
I think
people,
everyone knows now that it's you guys, and when everyone thinks
uh
of that
huh,
song, I think of you. So
yeah,
yeah,
it definitely, people know,
yeah.
but
No, that
it's
that's awesome, and I think like what makes a really good DJ set stand out too is like being able to go on a journey through house, techno, trance, and like you guys really do that. And you guys have been doing it for a long time. And actually, my partner Mowgli has been a fan of you guys for a while, and he actually has a hard copy of one of your mixtapes from 2007, Tool Room Nights Volume 2.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, and we're actually listening to some of the songs, and like, I mean, it's a journey, it was not just trance, like it's got some indie flavor in there, it's got deep house, it's
yeah,
got Claude Von Stroke's like one of his biggest hits, Who's Afraid of Detroit, and like
yes.
uh Mowgli, who's in the chat right now, actually, he said that's how he found out about Claude Von Stroke was through you guys and that mixtape.
Well, I mean, Barkley was, in San Francisco also trying to get Dirty Bird started. So, we had a little bit of a kinship with him
That's
in the
rad.
early days. Because we were living in San Francisco, in the time, not in the Tool Room Nights time, but like, when they were trying to get Dirty Bird off the ground, they were part of the
Right.
fabric of the underground here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we loved that record. We just loved how it was so dreamy and simple.
Yes.
And we just, we didn't ever think of the genre of music. We just thought about like, does it take us there? Does it make us feel good?
Yeah.
And so, there's definitely a certain style to the music that we gravitate to and play and make that has a little bit of a, I don't know. Like I think that Tool Room Nights mix really is a great description of us as DJs and artists. Um,
Totally.
we were really proud of that at the time, which is crazy. It was 18 years ago already.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's
And that was like we were really trying to not get pigeonholed into trance with that mix compilation.
You can hear
And
it. That's kind of what I feel like has been such a staple of your guys' sound now is that like even though you've had these amazing hits and mostly everyone thinks of trance when they think of you guys, but at least as an observer and like lurker on your channel for Club Quarantine and on Twitch, like I hear you play a ton of variety of stuff, and I think that is the makings of a good DJ set and a good journey. And even though you just went on this like classics only tour, I know that you also play a lot of modern stuff
yes,
too. I've heard you
uh-huh.
throw in really brand new house records where like we're like, wait, this just came out. We know this one, you know? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's how you stay relevant, but like
The
you still know
streaming
how to throw those in at the right time.
the streaming is what really has. I mean, I used to go on Beatport when I had to. You know, we got a slew of gigs coming up. Got to go shopping. Got to get the music ready. But like the streaming has like, you know, I listen to my promos and I listen to what's new on Beatport and you know, I go every Friday and listen to new music on Beatport. It's like I think the streaming has been such an important player in my ability to be a live DJ, and played such a important role in me being better than I
Right.
was before streaming.
Yeah.
It
No,
like
that's amazing.
streaming has been seriously like one of my favorite things that I've done in this 35 years I've been doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what like inspired me to want to have this conversation with you is because you said that to me and I thought that was crazy like
Uh-huh.
coming from you considering you've had like such a long and successful career, you know, over 20 years and touring the world, playing the most iconic venues and festivals, releasing on some of the most iconic labels, and yet you're saying, and you said, quote, it's been your favorite era of your DJ career, which is like crazy to hear that from someone like you know?
You know, it's like the day that I first streamed for the first time, I didn't have any expectations that it was going to do anything because anytime I'd ever seen people try to live stream a DJ set, it had like 4 viewers, you know, and I'm like, wow,
Right.
it must be really hard to get a viewer. And but like I had resigned to the idea that since gigs were being canceled because of COVID, I need to figure this out and do it. And
Right.
I did everything wrong. I like pointed the stream to my personal Facebook instead of the Gabriel and Dresden Facebook with like 100+ thousand followers. Um, so I streamed on my own personal channel, which made me subject to like different rules and regulations for Facebook
Oh
streaming.
yeah.
So that's why I got kicked off. But I smartly created a Twitch profile, um, before I had streamed on Facebook. So you know, when I started seeing the copyright notices come up, I was like, hey, if this party's a bust, um, twitch.tv/ Gabriel and Dresden is where it's going to be. And
Yeah.
like this stream, you know, I've never gone viral in my life, period, except for this day. I went viral on Twitch for the first time, like on my first stream.
Really?
Like we had average viewers over 6 hours and 45 minutes. We had 2,108 average concurrent viewers. Yeah,
Whoa.
it was nuts. Like what the fuck? So
That's
I
crazy.
went from like, what am I gonna do, to like, holy shit, I can like headline a festival at my home.
I know, right? Because 2,000 people, that's headlining a
Yeah,
festival.
that's
That's,
like, yeah, that's a party.
yeah,
And so
100%.
like it was like, you know, it's like when you meet somebody that you just fall right in love with and you just want to be with them all the time, you
Yeah.
know, like that's what streaming was for me. It was like I just, wow, I could feel this good in my home. I could go get a snack between
Yes.
mixes. Like
You can
I could
face
keep,
plant your into your bed as soon as you're done. Like,
yes, I don't have to fucking check in for the airplane. You know, like
yeah.
it was amazing. And then like it really made me like plug in hard drives and go through my all my music, and it, again, like got me on Beatport every week, and like
Re-inspired that drive to keep digging and keep
right,
up
like
with everything new.
yes,
Right.
because back in the day when the only way you got music was going to a record store, you had to
Yeah.
go every week.
Right.
And so it's like the streaming has reinvigorated. I feel like I'm 18 years old again as a DJ.
Aw, I love that. Hell yeah. I feel like, hearing you say that's like super validating for, someone like me who, even though I've really aspire to like get to a level where I can tour, like play some of my favorite festivals. I also do notice certain traits about myself that make me question if I could even like handle uh, the life of touring. I'm a homebody. Like, I enjoy the little things. I enjoy quality time, sleep. Like, I don't do well on little sleep like some people can. um, and yeah, I feel like it's really validating to hear that from you. I feel like it's almost like a new definition of success too in the music industry, even though like touring has been like the very definition of success as a DJ or musician. Um, but yeah, and I talk to my friends who tour, and they all, it's hard. It's
It's
super
really
super
hard.
hard.
It's
So
hard. It's like I was just thinking, like before this interview, like I had a gig on Saturday in New York, and it's Tuesday now or Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday.
it's what I say.
Wednesday, yes. And I'm still kind of exhausted.
Right? Yeah. So imagine
And
having to go straight to, yeah. So that's crazy to think. Like, you're still recovering from something that happened this over the
yeah,
weekend.
yeah. So it is hard. And like when you start stacking, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for weeks in a row, you really do start to lose like where's home, like routine because it goes out the door. Or you start eating food that you normally wouldn't because it's just like I need to eat. I'm hungry, and like there's
Yeah.
only a Burger King.
Yeah,
So,
no, totally. It's
um,
not good. Mentally,
but
physically, like everything.
I love the idea of streaming being able to like, be the ability to take less gigs and do less damage to my body.
Right.
Um, like and not relying on, 23 promoters to allow me to pay for my mortgage.
Right. Yeah, being able to
'Cause-
like pick and choose certain gigs that you actually want to do, like
yes.
being able to find that balance and like being
Uh-huh.
able to stream on Twitch kind of like gives you the freedom to be able to do that, which is amazing. And that's kind of like what I aspire for, because like I do want to play like my
Uh-huh.
favorite festivals, and I do want to have these opportunities, but at the same time I don't want to like rely on these opportunities, because like especially with radius clauses too, like
Right,
they're
yeah.
insane. You can't just like go to one region and play 3 shows in that region in that weekend. Like, radius clauses don't allow for that, so you have to like
Well, especially if
hop
you
on
make
a
a deal with the
plane.
devil, and
Yeah,
the
and
devil
you have
being
to.
its Insomniac Productions.
I
Like if you
mean,
play EDC, you're not playing the West Coast anytime soon.
yeah, and like being a promoter and dealing with artists, and like, we understand like how far these radius clauses stretch too. It's like, they could be
Uh-huh.
playing something like California is massive,
I
okay, like
will I will say
huge.
this. I will say this that like the Insomniac radius clauses, they do pay you more. They do pay you more than you're like worth.
They should, as they
Yes.
should.
So, um,
But
but
yeah, like some even like, well, obviously Coachella is like the biggest music festival in the world, but Coachella is like, Southern California. But even if some major artists are playing in like the San Diego region, you can't even book them in NorCal,
right, yeah,
or
yeah.
because that's how far these radius clauses stretch. Even though California is huge, California is like the size of 3 states.
Yeah.
um,
No. You know, Insomniac is Live Nation, and that's AEG Live. So it's basically the corporatization of the live space,
Yeah,
created radius clauses. You know,
yeah, totally. Yeah, it
it's
makes it
funny.
hard for like
It's
independent promoters too.
I walked past the Wall Street, New York Stock Exchange the other day, and I was like, the building where products and services go to die.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
And people make millions of dollars, so I guess it's all
Yeah,
good. But
yeah.
yeah,
But the independents are definitely struggling, especially now, like more than ever.
uh-huh.
A
Well,
lot
it's
of
about
it,
filling niches
yeah,
that
totally.
the corporate promoters aren't serving.
Right. And
So,
I'm seeing like a lot of independent promoters fizzle out, and it's getting tough because unless you can cough up those big bucks for those radius clauses, it's tough. So,
yep.
yeah, it's a lot, but in terms of streaming, like I've like I'm curious from your perspective, like how does streaming compare to playing for a live audience? Because I feel like it's obviously not meant to replace it, even though like during COVID it kind of was. But now, I mean, some people don't realize like streaming on Twitch is still alive and well. And even though a lot of like touring acts
Uh-huh.
left and went back to touring, you're like one of the few major touring acts that like stuck around and kept it going. So
Uh-huh.
obviously there's something special about like being able to uh curate or just kind of free flow and like go on these journeys. But yeah, I'm just like curious, how does it compare to playing for a
Well,
live crowd?
I mean, like gigs like the gig I just did in New York. I mean, it's pretty hard to replicate that on a live stream.
Right.
When crowd and DJ connect on a level like that, um, where it was packed all the way until we had to stop at one. So it was a party.
That's
But like
awesome.
I have had some amazing streams where I just like couldn't sleep for hours afterwards. Like
Yeah.
when the hype trains get to like level 14 and like all your community is showing up and like people who like are saying I needed this tonight and like things like that. Um and it's like wow, I could feel this great in my home alone DJing to myself technically.
Yeah.
And like just but knowing that you're bringing that much happiness into the world, it's a powerful feeling. And like I did not miss live touring at all in 2020 or 2021. And I remember like, there were a lot of DJs that were out there doing shows and getting like plague rave names, and I'm like, why don't these fuckers just try Twitch? They could,
Right.
they, maybe you're not going to make 20,000 a gig, but you might make that in a month.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And so I didn't miss it at all. And I was late to getting back on the touring because the stream was still doing great.
Right.
Um but then there was a little bit of like the I called it the pandemic for Twitch DJs.
Yeah.
It was like, 2023 felt like, it felt like the sun was setting on it a little
Oh, that's
bit.
so true. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, we had 600 viewers, now we have 300, like,
Right.
you'd be like, can I get up to 600 today? Yes. Okay. And
Right.
then you'd have like 700 or 800 viewers and you're like, yeah, I still got it,
Yeah.
but then there was this, like the leaves started turning red and yellow and then they fell off the tree and then it started snowing and like, oh, okay, this is over. Right.
Right.
But I still stuck with it because I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was a way for me to practice. Like,
Hmm.
what a way for me to go through a bunch of new music and then pull out the great songs from my live shows.
Yeah. And yeah, test stuff that you haven't played
Uh-huh.
yet and just be able to like go on a journey as long as you want. I mean, what's cool about, obviously your show in New York was it was open to close. And I feel like that's probably the closest you can get to kind of replicating the feeling of like being able to stream in a sense, because you can play these, you're playing open to close when you're streaming, right? So you kind of
Yeah, and it's normal to
formulate a
do a six
journey
hours. It's normal to do a 6 hour stream,
that's totally normal.
and that's, I mean, being able to do these shows. I've been doing open to closes longer than streaming, but like being able to do them at the level that I'm doing them now, I couldn't be doing without all the long streams I've done.
Right.
It's
That's
like
awesome.
it's streaming is like going to like musical gym, working out, getting strong.
Yeah. Being able to practice like to an audience instead of being alone, and
Uh-huh.
keeps you on your toes with digging, and like keeps you inspired. Because I know, at least like for me, streaming has kind of opened up like new creative portals that to explore, where I feel like I can take more risks and try things I haven't done before. And like, I mean, usually when you're, I turned to streaming during the pandemic because I was like gigging in my local area, but I was gigging professionally, and for at least a few years before turning to Twitch. And then Twitch was kind of supposed to be like a temporary thing, but
Right.
it
Uh-huh.
ended when all the big touring acts kind of left. There was almost like an opportunity for like the smaller peeps like me to kind of latch onto the community that was like still there. And I've grown, like my skills have grown so much since then, and I've been
Mm-hmm.
able to explore like so many uh like different genres and creative portals, and really like figure out who I am as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't it would have taken me so much longer to get there if I didn't have this platform. So
Uh-huh.
I know that like for me it's been amazing in that sense, and it kind of creates, I mean, again, like nothing can really truly replace the feeling of playing for a crowd, but I don't think it's meant to replace that, at least not anymore. I think it's kind of like
No.
something that can be viewed as in addition to the live experience. You can have this experience at home during the weekdays. You can have this online community that's in addition to the
Right.
IRL world. Um, and I know, like, for some people, they've told me that they like never really went out into the IRL world until they went on Twitch, because it pulled them out of their house, pulled them into the rave scene and culture too, which is amazing.
And
So
another thing that we did was we reached people who don't have a club near them.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. There's tons of people who like live in middle America, and they're like, I don't even have anywhere to go that's nearly as cool as these streams that I can join from my bedroom.
right, yeah. On my phone, whatever I'm doing in the car,
Right. Or
and find their people. Our communities help people find their people.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I have
Nate
people
mentioned
who are like married because of they found each other in my chat room, and like
what? Aw, that's so
that's like, I mean, I love that shit.
yeah. Yeah, you're
And
exactly like you said earlier. You're like spreading joy and happiness around the
hmm
world to people who couldn't like experience it otherwise on the level that, I mean, we're blessed because we're in California. Like we have
right.
all the festivals, all of the like biggest touring acts, but a lot of people don't have that. So it's really cool to like create this new avenue in a sense. And yeah, I think it's important. I know Nate in here, one of my mods, said Twitch community has helped me get over my social anxiety. I still have some anxiety in person with Twitch fam, but for the most part, I'm super relaxed IRL or around IRL Twitch fam. And like hearing stuff like that is amazing. It's like
hmm
we're actually expanding the industry in a sense by doing that. Like we're pulling people out.
100%. And when Kat brought up no festival to me, um, and that it was an in real life thing and also being streamed together, and it was like in a bespoke venue that wasn't necessarily a venue. There's something like that clicked in me, like, oh, that's a really good idea. Like it's like a raid train in real life,
Right.
of various communities in a space where we're like could party for 24 hours if we wanted to.
Right.
I mean, like I really I've been thinking about like how can we capitalize on, the G&D Twitch presence more, and I was like, this is a really good idea. And like, this could be the model that we all follow, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And like or like one model that like because like the touring industry, like you don't understand what a miracle it is to get a gig in a club. I
Yeah.
I,
I
I
believe
just
it.
the unlikely, like I'm competing with like at least 200 to 300 other artists for all these spaces,
Yeah. Totally.
and so it's like what Twitch is doing is it's giving a platform for DJs who didn't get known because of records they made or their social media presence. It's because of the sets that they played in the communities they built. And
Yeah.
so we're never going to get booked because of this. I get booked because I'm Gabriel and Dresden and I have a touring history.
Right.
And like definitely Twitch is like my social network. Like instead of
Right.
making reels, streaming is my social network. But like most of us that's have a presence on the platform can't just go and gig in a club
Right.
because we don't have the touring history. And that's like so maybe somebody will get brought on as an opening artist, but like as a headliner because of their Twitch presence, no. But like by going and getting rid of the middleman promoter and having Twitch I help fund it, this
Right.
could really like build this community into something that could support itself.
Yeah. Totally. And
And
we're super stoked to have
that's
you
really
part
what
of
I'm
it.
interested in is like really trying to make Twitch DJ program work for people if they wanted it to be their job,
Right.
because
100%.
it could it can happen. you
Yeah.
know I mean,
Yeah,
I
totally.
know that I was I made a living in 2020 and 2021 off of Twitch. And I understand that, like, everybody was home and everybody was getting, money from the government, but it's possible. And there are
Yeah.
people who are doing it now. So,
Yeah, totally. I'm doing it. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like crushing it to where I'm like rolling in dough, but I'm making it
right.
work. And that's
Yeah.
pretty
Uh-huh.
awesome because I'm not even on like a caliber that you're on in a sense. So it's
Right.
given
Uh-huh.
me tons of opportunity and I've been doing it full time for like 3.5 years now. So, it's still working and, making it work. And if you can build a dedicated community, that's what it's all
Right.
about. And that's what I love so much about Twitch versus like TikTok or, short form video content. I mean, I'm not like good with stuff like that. I'm not good with editing. I hate
Neither,
like
neither am
scripts,
I.
anything that's too curated. Like I'm super all about the just raw live
Yeah.
experience. And with Twitch, it's like, and live streaming, that's what you're gonna get, And so you kind of have
Uh-huh.
to be authentically yourself. But yeah, I mean, we've really the Twitch community is really strong, and that's why we're banding together to create festival, like, and we're super stoked to have you a part of it. And it's great to have your voice in this and your support.
Uh-huh.
And also like EDM Identity just wrote up an article about our event. And the extra cool thing about it is that Twitch is officially sponsoring the event too.
Yes.
And they're
Uh-huh.
backing us and they're supporting us, which is really new territory for everyone in the category because they would have never been able to do that before had they not just launched the DJ category, which is
Right.
brand new. And that just
I mean,
goes to
that was
show
another
that,
thing, like the
yeah,
fact that like Twitch was buying into it, was a very big development for me in terms of the platform showing us that they are interested in growing the category.
yes,
And
exactly.
so I was like, well, I need to be a part of that.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Uh-huh.
we want them to support us, and it's kind of like them following through on their promise, because there's obviously pros and cons about the new category. But the good thing about it is that they're recognizing that the DJ category on Twitch is still alive and well, and they
Mm-hmm.
recognize that there's a huge opportunity here, and they want to try to support us, and this, and like now we can get front page support. And so, regardless of the slight sacrifice we have to make, I think in the long run, hopefully
It's about to come
through
home to
events.
roost.
Yeah. Hopefully through events like this, we
Uh-huh.
can, like, set the tone for like the future and create legitimate opportunities for DJs on Twitch. But when we were building this lineup, we were thinking really carefully too about like involving DJs and streamers that do have IRL experience too and have that crossover. And
Uh-huh.
obviously, like EDM Identity writing an article, and we just also found out yesterday EDM Maniac published an article as well. So like we're getting press about this, which is awesome. The EDM news outlets are interested in what we're doing, and like they called us innovators, which is really amazing. And maybe, we're potentially like pioneering a new format, and that's, we're pushing boundaries, and maybe this is only the beginning of
I
like
mean,
what's
like
to
I said,
come.
it's punk rock as fuck. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's punk rock to like go around the live touring thing. I mean, I had to get my booking agent to sign off on like whether or not I had any radius clauses in the LA area. But
Right.
apart from that, it's like, this is like more underground for me.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's
but
definitely is. It's still very niche.
uh-huh.
But,
And I'm actually just really curious about who's gonna hang out all 24 hours. I'm like there. I'm down for the whole experience.
yes. Yes. Hell yeah.
So,
No, I know.
so
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, the whole 24-hour thing is kind of like an ode to the streamathons that we're all like
right. Uh-huh.
raid-a-thons, streamathons,
Yeah, yeah, totally. It's an in real life raid.
Yes. And we have
So wait,
incredible tech
so
masters.
my question actually is, so when we're streaming on at Festival, are we streaming on our own channels, or is the stream happening on everybody's channel for the 24 hours?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be like a raid train. So
Okay.
between sets, everyone's gonna be streaming on their own channels. But
Okay, gotcha.
like co-streaming is like a new function too. So we're exploring the idea of potentially like having one channel that's always live. Either it would be Val Dudes, or we're
Uh-huh.
talking to Twitch about maybe using their music page as like a home base kind of that would
Uh-huh.
collab, be like a collab streamer. But
Uh-huh.
generally the main focus is we want every artist to reach their own audience, and like
Okay.
stream on to their own audience. So that's
Okay.
the plan.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have Sushi Dragon, who's leading all the tech and like visuals for the stream. So it's like going to be super dialed in, and we got a really like amazing tech team that's going to try to ensure that it's as smooth as possible. But I mean, this is new
Uh-huh.
territory for all of us, so I think it's a huge experiment. We're all having so much fun. I mean, we're working our asses off to try to make sure that it goes
Uh-huh.
well. But we also just confirmed that Pioneer is going to be also equipping us with all of our
Nice.
sound and gear too. So that's
Okay.
pretty fucking awesome to have them involved as well. They're going to be setting everything up, and like we could, that's going to be
Is DJ Lars coming?
who is it?
Oh, he's the guy who runs Alpha Theta.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. I know a rep is coming for sure and will be
Okay.
there, but yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. They're well,
I'll see if I can get DJ Lars there. DJ Lars, he runs, he's been running Pioneer for a long time now, but he got his start. He was on The Real World. Remember that show on MTV?
yes.
He was in the second season when it was in London. and he was this German mysterious German DJ who like
What?
played at the Ministry of Sound. It was like the first time anybody in America had ever seen house music on TV. Was this guy DJ
No
Lars, who
way.
runs Pioneer now? Yes.
That's actually crazy. And it's funny you say that too, because like Sushi and Pete, who are like kind of the main masterminds behind all the tech, mentioned wanting to kind of create a format that's like MTV, for the event. So that's pretty funny
Uh-huh.
that you mentioned that actually. But yeah, no, I mean, let us know. Like, we would love to have them. That would be super, super rad.
Yes. I constantly smack him around like, why did you call the company Alpha Theta?
I know, right?
Anyway, I'm not going to start up any controversy here. Love you, Lars. If you're watching.
Yeah, no, I hear you totally. But yeah, I mean, this format, it's super unique, and we're stoked to have you part of it. Next Saturday, for anybody who's listening, y'all should come out. We're gonna actually be dropping the official set times on Monday. But yeah, super stoked to see your sex. I actually haven't seen you play IRL. I've lurked a lot of your streams, and I'm always like super impressed. But yeah, super
I have
stoked.
no idea what I'm even going to play. I think it's one of those, it'll be one of those things I walk into the room, who's playing before me, and I'll just kind of like, I don't know, match that
We
vibe.
got Chris Cox setting the tone right before you, so it should be
Oh, you
good.
know what? I mean, when he and I go back to back, it's insane. I don't
Oh
know, maybe we should.
yes,
We've done a
and
stream. He
we
actually
are
came over to my
planning to make
house.
that happen too.
Uh-huh. He
So
um he came over to my house once last year, and we did a 10-hour back to back.
dang.
Yeah, he that guy is a good DJ.
Dude, he's
Like,
amazing. He's also an amazing producer too. And like as
uh-huh,
far as I know, he got a Grammy nominee. I mean, like he's kind of the one who helped get Pioneer for us. So he's
uh-huh.
definitely been helping like contribute to the
Well,
success of
Chris
our event.
Chris
He
not
said, "Is
only
that a
Chris
threat?"
Chris not only has a Grammy nomination, but he also has a top 5 hit song. Like,
Wow.
he remixed Whitney Houston's "It's Not Right, But It's Okay," and his version is the one that was used in the radio on the radio.
What? I didn't even
So like,
know that. That's wild.
yeah, he used to be called Thunderpuss 2000.
What?
Yeah. And they were massive. Like Britney Spears hired Thunderpuss, Madonna, like all the top artists,
What?
Backstreet Boys, all hired Thunderpuss to do remixes. He was one of the top remixers in his era.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's like a
He's
remix king.
yeah, he's definitely like he's got a pedigree in the industry.
Dang.
That guy. And
Yeah.
also,
No,
it's been a
it's
long
cool
time
because
friend
he's
of mine.
also like sticking with streaming too. So it's been
Uh
great.
huh.
Like we really wanted to get him involved because he's also one of those people that has a lot of like crossover appeal, and
Uh
I
huh.
think he
Yeah.
also feels the same way that you do about the event. So
Uh
wait, Nate says, wait, what? Thunderpuss is Chris Cox? He's losing his mind. He had no idea. I didn't.
huh.
That's He's half of Thunderpuss. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other half of Thunderpuss was Barry Harris from another group called Concan. Um,
Whoa.
so they were like kind of like a little bit of a super group,
Dang. That's
and
rad.
yeah, they were definitely making millions at some point.
Damn. I believe it.
Anybody
But
who
he's
touched Madonna music back in the day was making millions.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's super legendary.
They,
But yeah, no, he's gonna be setting the tone for you. And
uh-huh,
one of the special things too about like streaming, and one of the things that we really wanted to curate for festival too are some like special back to back moments.
uh-huh.
So I know we have you in there, and we'd love to pair you guys up, obviously. So we'll chat. We'll send the deets if Kat hasn't already mentioned to you. But
All right.
yeah, no. I think there's something like special and the magical about having that opportunity for you guys to like come together and play back to back and like live.
I'll just message him and say, "Yo, you want to do a back to back at the festival?"
Hell yeah.
So
That's yeah, that's I think what's gonna uh make it all special too. I mean, we got 24 hours of music to curate, so
yes.
and stoked to know that you want to like stick around as long as you can.
Oh
Yeah, it'll
yeah.
be,
I'm gonna have all my Red Bull and coffee right beside me.
oh yes. Come loaded for
Yes.
sure. Yes, it's gonna be great. So yeah, I mean, I know that there were some questions coming in the chat and I might have missed them, but if anybody has any questions to drop about Festival or questions for Dave, drop them in there. I know Forever Quest said I want to give prizes to everyone who lasts for the entire 24 hours. We actually, yeah, we really should. We gotta have something to give anyone who lasts that long with us. But it's funny because us, the crew, like we're in it for like 35 hours. We got to be there for setup and breakdown before and after. So we're kind of
There won't
insane.
be any Adderall usage at all.
Gonna need something.
Unless, of
Yeah,
course, you have attention deficit disorder.
of course. Yeah,
So,
that would be good. Oh, Mowgli
um,
asks, do you have any story about Arcadia? That's one of his favorite songs ever.
okay, Arcadia. Okay, so I love this story. This is a good one. Arcadia, we were hired by this label called Network Records to do a remix of the Nip Tuck theme, and it was called like A Perfect Lie. And
Um,
so it was like a slow song that we couldn't make dance tempo because it's just the way it was sung, it would have sounded weird. But we really loved the sound set of the sounds that we used to make this remix. So, and we made this remix in like one day because it wasn't a dance music song. So it was like really easy to do. So the next morning we woke up and we were like, let's see if we can make a house track out of this sound set. And um and one of the little accidents that happened that day was the computer started glitching when we had it in loop mode. And so it would go boom, wow, wow, wow. And like I'm like, dude, that's what we need to put at the end of each 8 bar section. And
yeah.
and it became the hook of the record. Um,
Oh,
and so
shit.
then we made this track that next day. It was pretty much fucking finished, which is impossible for us. We're like, very detail oriented. And I was in the process of buying a home. We were moving from San Francisco to the East Bay, and I was buying a home. And my realtor was in my car, and I was like, listen to this, because she had already sold Josh his home, right? And so I'm like, listen to what Josh and I made yesterday. And she's like, that's really nice. Why don't you call it Arcadia? Because that was the home that we were about to check out that I ended up buying.
What?
And so I'm like, that's a really good name for a song. And so,
Yeah, that is a good name.
yes, so my realtor named it, and yeah, and it was born out of the Perfect Lie remix from Nip Tuck.
Wow, that's so rad. Yeah, no, that song is a journey. And like, we were just listening to it the other day. And I mean, the production value like stands the test of time. Like, it still sounds amazing musically, production wise. Like, it's really an amazing record. But yeah, Mowgli said, "Hey, I was thinking of that. Was this named after the city? Haha." That's awesome.
Yes, no, it was not named after the city, but many artists have named songs Arcadia since.
Since right, it's hard to think of good names, but that's a good one, and I love that. I love even more that it has like a personal story behind it and like attachment to
And
it.
I never told that story until I finally moved away from that home
Oh, really?
because I didn't want anybody stalking me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that makes
So
sense. But yeah, I mean, that's part of being a public figure too, you know, just
yes,
having to be careful about not giving out too many of those details too. And I find myself also like needing to find those boundaries within myself too.
right.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Have you ever considered, I mean, do you guys still get in the studio and like crank out tunes
Every
or
day.
mostly all the time? Hell
Well,
yeah.
I for the last year I actually was the lead A&R on the Above and Beyond's new album.
Oh,
And so
I think I lost your audio, or I think, did we lose your
call me.
audio? Oh,
Yeah, somebody was trying to call me and it was messing
oh, okay.
with me.
Go ahead.
So like that project is done. It's actually coming out tomorrow.
Oh,
Um,
shoot.
and but no, we're back in the studio. We're making music all the time. We've got tons of IDs. Um, you
Hell
know,
yeah. You should play some at festival.
I will be.
Would love to hear some. Hell yeah. That'd be amazing. Have you
But
considered streaming production sessions? Have you guys ever?
mm, those don't do good numbers. And like I don't know. I'd rather just do DJ streams and maybe talk streams.
Yeah, I hear you. It's
But I gotta
definitely, it's hard to stay like fully engaged and locked in a production stream sometimes.
right,
I
and
know Chris
it's
Lake just started getting back into like doing production streams, but I notice it's
uh
very like we're just doing our thing here. We're not really engaging too much, and I think it is
right,
important to stay engaged. So you'd have to be like dedicated to that, but yeah,
right.
you'd have
I
to be
mean,
willing
that's
to give
kind of
away
like
all the
what
secrets
that's
too.
kind of
So
what Joel did that.
yeah,
Like, and I think Chris
right,
kind of followed Joel's lead a little bit.
totally.
Um, but I mean, an excellent guy to learn from. Seriously, like that guy and what he does with very little is amazing.
Totally. I feel like
Like,
he's the definition of like less is more, but like
uh huh,
it's like it's minimalism, but it's not like simple
uh huh.
necessarily. It's still very complex in its simplicity, which
Yes,
is amazing and has like defined the Dead Mouse sound really.
uh huh. But listen, I got to split because I got something else to do now.
For sure. Yeah, no worries.
But
Thanks so much for chatting. Wait,
of
it was good.
course,
Yeah, that was super great. Super stoked to see you next weekend. And
yes, next
when are you?
weekend,
Yes, next weekend. And when are you streaming next? If anybody is
probably
curious,
tomorrow.
probably
I'm probably gonna
tomorrow.
stream tomorrow, um, and probably play that new Above and Beyond album before it comes out.
Oh, hell yes. Perfect.
It's
Yeah,
just
so guys, tune in to the stream tomorrow to hear some unreleased music and magic before it's out there.
yes.
But yeah, thanks so much,
All right.
dude. Super stoked
Yes.
to see you. See you
Yeah.
so
Good to talk
soon.
to you, and good to
Yeah.
hear your origin story. I was actually curious about how you got into streaming.
Yes, hell yeah. We
So,
definitely will chat more, but yeah, thanks so much again, dude.
all
Appreciate it.
right. All right. Later. Bye.
Later. Bye, guys. Alrighty, and then it was just you and me, guys. But thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in. I appreciate all of you in the chat. I see you all, love you all so much, and see you next weekend. Bye.